Because it does look like the tsunami that hit Delta State is about to hit also in Akwa Ibom State.
It's a bit predicted and expected in that particular instance. In fact, I think the governor of Akwa Ibom had been speaking about that even before that of Delta. So no one should act surprised in that instance. He made a very strong point that any fair-minded person cannot ignore. And that is that he has this fear that their inability to resolve the issue of the secretaryship could cost everybody on the platform of that party with no capacity and ability to have valid tickets. And that is a serious reason for anybody to contemplate their future. And I think we'll just say best of luck to him. One cannot, in fairness, continue to begrudge those who feel that politics being what politics is, they have a right to review things from where they stand, and they have a right to make informed decisions first for themselves and for whatever followers they think they hold. So I understand him. For someone who has always been in this party since 1998, never leaving for one day, there's a bit of a painful feeling when you are watching life ebb out of the body and the soul of that party. You are, more than anybody else, can bear me witness to how long I have been screaming on the need for the PDP to reform. I've now adopted the point of view that, when you have an aged parent that is on life support and you are thinking maybe there's nothing they can do to save it. So I've recovered from the agitation and the anger of what people do. And I'm able to accept whatever destiny will put before PDP. I think that, for me, history is constantly in the making. And the political evolution of Nigeria within this stable democracy that we started in 1999 is also an unfolding story. I put most of these, the campaigns and the kinds of alignment and realignment, including all of the talk about coalition, around three broad spectrum. Is there a North versus South conversation when it comes to respecting the principles of the pendulum? 8 years in the North, 8 years in the South. You have to see that people have a reason to think that way. That's one. Then, should people spend all of their time hoping and waiting that party managers will be reasonable to understand that they've been in opposition, they've lost 3 elections back to back, and they don't seem, no matter what we said to them, to be willing to do the necessary level of reform to build it afresh and renewed from the inside, but they tend to pretend as if there are some smart Alex somewhere trying to manipulate the process for outcomes that everybody can see will not work. Then the third one is there something in the skill set of the political management of the present president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that some of them find irresistible? It don't matter that we are not in his party, it don't matter that we're in opposition. One must also consider why would they be going there. And that argument becomes a bit strong in the face of the fact that, never mind that people are talking about all sorts of coalition, if the big players believed in that coalition so much, they ordinarily should not be decamping away from the coalition. So people are seeing that perhaps the country now has 2 national parties, and nobody wants to gamble with serial defectors who are running all sorts of personal forum shopping for where they are going to run their ambition and calling it a coalition.
Let me ask you, genuinely, is this a self-inflicted harm or externally induced?
No. You see, Segun, there is a level of activities that you can blame your bully for. But there is a certain level of reoccurring, long-standing, continuous lack of creativity that you have to hold yourself responsible to. You can't have been out of government if you like, for all of those years, forget about that. Even if you just take the 2023 episode, the president of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with 22 governors in his party plus 5 extras who were working or saying they're not going to support the candidate, he pulled 8.6 million votes. The candidate of the PDP and the PDP, because we must be separating which part of that vote belongs to the party and which part of that vote any individual can lay claim to. They pulled 6.9 million votes. One of the people that was a PDP member, a Southeastern man who felt that on the balance of play, why is the Southeast being excluded, Peter Obi went on his own frolic, was able to pull or allocated 6.2 million votes. And you lose the election, you run all the way to the Supreme Court, you lose. Or at least it was adjudged that you lost. Any deep-thinking, fair-minded Nigerian who is in the political party called PDP ought to know that the greatest necessary next step is to have the conversation of how do you bring Peter back. Because you can tell that the energy that is driving him is organic.
So there is a possibility of a 6.9 million vote in the kitty for the PDP.
No.
Another, just a moment, looking at the past election and the figures that you've reeled out, it will have been simple political mathematics that a Peter Obi and an Atiku will be a formidable force to defeat any ruling party in place as at 2023.
Yes.
Now, that's about 13 million votes as against an
if you even think about Kwankwaso and how they mismanaged him, that's another 2 million.
If what is going on right now, it does look like the APC is emptying the PDP. And from what we hear, that in fact, Kano is going in the way of the APC.
No. See, I tell people all the time, one of the things that people do is that they fall prey to the frail nature of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I know him. I've known him very, very, very well, closely for his intellectual capacity since as far back as being in Europe in 1994. He will look frail, but the brain is that of a giant. So most times people just underrate him to their own peril. In 2023, he was an outsider, not in government, not a minister, not anything. He figured out a way to come into an election where you can say an Hausa Fulani man, an Igbo man, and a Yoruba man, if you like, with all of the issues, and he was able to pull 8.something million, 8.6 million votes under their nose, get installed. They ran all the way, run to heaven, run here, carried their social media, church lawyers to the Supreme Court while he brought jurisprudence lawyer who you never see talking rubbish. They won, and he won, and they lost. And now he's the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Boldly says, I'm removing something, remove it. Floated the currency because he can't be backing currency with Naira. Long and short, there's some issues here and there. He's grappling with his riding, he's driving, yes, there's poverty and other. And my friends, the painful part for me is that my own side are choosing to be pretending as if that is the kind of easy material in politics they're going to beat. Question number one, what do they know that he doesn't know? If we're all politicians. They've not asked themselves one question. In 1999, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was governor of Lagos. Our last candidate was vice president of the country. Between 1999 to date, why is it that Bola Tinubu, Asiwaju, Mr. President, I'm not disrespecting you, why was he able to know that in 2007, while everybody finished governor and run to Senate, he didn't have to go? In 2011, why did he not go? In 2015, why didn't he go? In 2019, why didn't he go? And by the time he got up in 2023, he's president. So when you are dealing with that kind of behemoth, you expect, even for the sanity of the country and the quality of the democracy in the country, you don't expect the people on the side of the main opposition party to be clowning about like they are doing. What have been the issues? They finished that election, instead of telling themselves, let's go back to the drawing board and look at why we lost 3 elections back to back, they chose to believe the convenient argument they were rigged. Okay, I agree, we were rigged, then what? They did not bother to ask themselves that, okay, when all is said and done, how are we going to max up the number? Simple mathematics, bring people back, beg them, stop quarreling among yourselves, stop fighting. What has happened? They left Wike with his anger and his issues, which they contributed significantly to getting me very pissed off. They gave him approval to go and work for their rival while he says in their party. They had no balls to be able to either expel him, suspend him, or do something serious about him. That lingered on forever. The whole country was talking about it. They pretended as if they have no ears. Then they got to the issue of, oh, they want to change the national chairman. They want to change the national chairman. They ran on that for months on end. Then we finished that after going all over the place, caught this. Then they started running on national security. Does that make sense? How hard is it for them to understand that the couple of months required for Sam Daddy to just finish his tenure, now that they finally they finish it, and they want to do an early Congress within their power. It's within the constitutional power to do an early Congress. How hard is it for us to just tolerate this extremely incompetent executive?
So those who are blaming Tinubu for the problem, or Wike for the problem of PDP, are wrong.
I have never known an annoying set of humans who don't look at themselves in the mirror and take responsibility.
So even your party is annoying you?
Listen, when I say an annoying set of humans who don't take responsibility, Segun, do you invite me here so that I can come and be pretending as if I don't know what I'm talking about? The fact of the matter is that it is not the responsibility of APC to do PDP a favor. No political party does another a favor. And to flip it for you so you will know, in 2003, my father, my leader, my beloved Balogun Olusegun Aremo Obasanjo, as president, running second term, took out almost all the states in the southwest, leaving Lagos. If Bola Tinubu was as, beg your pardon, like them, I wanted to use the word useless, but I thought it would be strong. If it was like them, why didn't he think, oh, Bola Tinubu, President Bola Tinubu, Obasanjo is a Yoruba man, let me jump? Why did he have the courage to stand in Lagos and just think that, okay, we can rebuild? Do people expect God to do them favor when they've been lazy? Heaven cannot help you if you don't help yourself. He worked and worked and worked, and there they are now. Okay, in 2015 when we lost to Jonathan, we ran one of the most obscenely expensive campaign in this country. Almost all the players ended up going to jail or having cases only on the way they misbehaved with money, saying they are running an election, and we lost. I have been screaming on this party since 2015, 2016. You cannot reform a party with the consciousness with which you destroyed it. You have to start from ground zero. The PDP is bedeviled by the history of how it came into being. It doesn't learn to struggle for anything. The military were going and gave them a favor and gave them the country. Obasanjo sat in the villa and gave them second term. Obasanjo sat in the villa, bullied Yaradua and Jonathan into government. Jonathan got a bit of an easy way because, of course, South needed to, they were already in power. Second term, they lost 2015. Tell me one critical work they've done since 2015 to improve themselves.